Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading Scaramouche Listener by me. So let's get into it. Scaramouche had a lot of trouble with his own emotions, with him not fully believing that he's anything else other than a puppet, and also believing that emotions and showing them so strongly is a weakness and hindrance to his own actual purpose. It was a complex situation and contradictory sometimes. However, that did not mean that it was easier to admit that, even to himself, even in the confines of his own room. That's why, when you got home and noticed there was something quite wrong, and then you heard the noise coming from the room, and then a crash, you knew something was terribly wrong. Things were being thrown around the room, and you could hear it very clearly, the sound of crashes and things breaking, and Scaramouche yelling. You had no idea what to do. You were honestly a little bit scared, if you could even admit that. Just wondering whatever it was that could be going on, whatever it was that made him feel so strongly that he wanted to do that. You had no idea what it could be. But right now, you knew that any wrong move could ruin anything you tried to do, so you did not want to interrupt without a plan in mind. But as you shouted once more, you also knew you did not have a lot of time. You were not going to leave him like this. It was not a good position to be in, and certainly not something you wanted to keep him doing. So, without waiting any more outside the door, you went inside. And the scene in front of you was certainly something strange and not really one you wanted to see at all. Scaramouche, dear, can we please just talk? I know you're angry right now, and I don't know why, but we can talk at least, can't we? You ask him, trying to be calm, trying not to stress him out, and hoping that things can go well, and he's not really angry with you. But you can tell that he's very angry. Not at you or with you, but just because of the situations that he's been put in. It's a lot of emotions. And when he sees you, he can't just continue on doing whatever he wants. No, he pauses. And he looks so frustrated, clenching his fists and trying so much to control his anger. In a way, you could tell that it was extremely difficult, and that he was struggling. He was never trying to make anything harder on purpose, especially if you were involved. Your safety and your comfort will always be a priority to him, and he knew that. And that's why his recent behavior was nothing short of odd. Skara, love, please, let's just talk. He looked at you for a moment, and you tried to cross the way over to him, avoiding the glasses that were shattered on the ground and everything else. And he stayed there, trembling with the feelings within him. They were too intense, too much, and he did not know how to deal with that. It was far too much for someone like him to handle, especially when you could not even admit their existence in the first place. You sat next to him and took his hands in your own, helping him calm down and looking into his eyes. Come on, Scaramouche. Breathe with me, okay? Deep breaths. Calm down. Everything will be okay. I promise. You tell him. And he trusts you. More than he trusts himself sometimes. He knows how much you would never lie to him, how much you love him. And somehow, that makes things a lot easier, a lot more tolerable, when you can't just take it anymore. So he tries. And eventually, as he's holding your hand, you notice his shoulders shaking, and the way he's looking down, not able to look into your eyes. And then, you hear him talk. and he's crying. I don't know what to do, Wayan. Sometimes it's too much for me to handle. The thoughts in my head, the fact that it will never be over so many things that I do, no matter how many times I try to forget them. Sometimes it's too much for me, no matter how hard I try. What do I do? Am I ruined? Am I broken? Will I ever be fixed? The words break you and your own heart, and you shake your head, taking him gently into your arms and holding him so close and so tight. You don't want to let go of him. You never want to let him be sad or lonely or afraid. And right now, the sound of him crying broke your heart into pieces, and you knew that you had to do something about that. You brought him in for a soft kiss, running your hands through his hair gently as you kissed the top of his head. Look, Scaramouche, it's not as easy as you're thinking it may be, and it's fine. A lot of things are difficult, and a lot of things are not supposed to come this easily. You're not actually doing anything wrong. This is natural. As natural as it could be, anyway. Not like so many people have been in your spot. But I promise you, you're not alone. You're not going to suffer alone. And you're not going to stay this way. See? Right now, you're crying here with me. You're telling me what you're going through. That's progress, Skara. You're doing so much. And you're becoming someone different. Even if just a little bit every year. That's enough. You don't have to push yourself. You just have to try. And sometimes improvement is not so noticeable. And that's fine. I loved you as you are. And any change you make, and anything you do, it's just you getting better and better. And I'll be happier for you. But right now, you don't need to do yourself like this. To tear into yourself. To tell yourself that you're broken when you're not. You will never be broken. You will never need fixing. You're just you. And I love that. And it's not something that needs to be fixed. You tell him firmly, leaving no room for objections. And he cries even harder, burying his face into the crook of your neck. He can't handle it. The way you're always doing so much for him. The way you're giving him so much love when he firmly believes he does not deserve it. But seeing the fact that you're willing to give so much, to do so much for him, it's what drives him forward and gives him a reason to go on. Because he knows that he's cared for and loved in a way he may never be in the future. And right now, he needs to take this chance, this new opportunity at life, this new thing you're giving him, this hope and this love, and to make something out of it, to try and be better. If not for his own sake, then he will look forward to you and your smile until he can learn to be at peace with himself and love himself. For now, you will be his purpose and his light in this dark tunnel until he reaches the very end.